Hey, hey, hey! I said I'd do part 2 live, so I'm gonna do part 2 live. I'm using my old computer, so I gotta fix the chat real quick. Let's see if it works. Let's see if anybody jumps in here too. How is everybody doing today? I figure I'd do part 2, and hopefully part 2 will be the end of the Moors to Sovereign Citizen 101. Alright, let's see. Doing the chat. My streaming system keeps crashing on me, so this is like my 5th try. Although I'm confident enough this time to start talking. Alright, let's see here. And then if you're joining me and you're not watching this live, oh, hey Alex, here for. I didn't think you liked the Moore's legal fiction or like the Sovcits. You know, I'm going back through everything and I found so much freaking Sovcit stuff. And then I realized I got to catch up on just the good old-fashioned body cam. Yeah, let's see. All right, let's see if this chat works. Let's see, how do I even test it? Let's see, type of test in. Oh, sweet, it does work. Okay, it's just not on the screen. Cool. Well, now I can't see your guys' chat. Anyway, all right. Hopefully you guys got a chance to see part 1 of the Moore's bullshit. This is part 2. Part. There's like 10 sections, and each of these are about 9 or 10 minutes long. And I did the first 2, and I published them just in video. I didn't do them live. I'm gonna try to do the remaining 8 in this stream. And I'm missing. I found out I'm missing one video, and then I went back to the source and I realized I'm missing one of the videos because they're missing one of the videos. So I didn't miss a download. Okay. Well, it's good to see you guys. God, I haven't been, I figure out the way to do this YouTube thing is consistency, and I have anything but lately. So I had to keep up on that, but family life is busy. Okay. All right. Let's just jump into it. I'll mess with my chat as we're going along. If you don't recall, my first like 40 videos is me messing with my chat at the very beginning. So let's jump into Queen V again and listen to the rest of whatever she has to say.
Because and to be other than a minor, you have to be in your proper person
We're
at law.
missing.
And how we write that is this. Can I have a
Okay, now I can see your chat and my chat, and now we can all see it on the screen, which is cool. Now let me make a little one tweak. I know I said I'd fix it as I go, but all right, and let me make sure you let me know if you can't hear it or if you hear an echo. I think I've got all that figured out. It's tough switching computers. Oh wait, okay. Cool. So Queen V, I got a feeling the section that I'm missing when I skip it, you'll hardly notice anyway, just to go along with what you just said. And no, I can't read anything she writes on that board either.
can you bear with me for a minute and let me put this on because I can't.
Oh, and real quick, by the way, this Sovereign Citizen 101 thing that I'm doing, I've got like 8 speakers who do this. This is the only Moors one that I'm doing. Yeah, I'm kind of vetting the other ones because they get very into the Constitution in a kind of ass backwards way. So I don't think I'll do all 8 of the speakers, but I'll definitely do like 3 of them at least.
Impropria persona. Impropria persona.
I don't.
When you are
Oh,
in your corporate war,
she was talking about minors because of the whole Social Security is given at given at birth and how minors don't really have legal capacity. I believe that's where she left off in the last video. Oh my God, where's my play button? There it is.
status, you look like this to the court.
Yep.
Pro se. Pro se meaning they get you in the court and they bring someone in called a
Prosecutor. Oh, that's so dumb.
got that? Pro se cutor, a prosecutor, because you're in a corporate board status. Now, if you're in propria persona, saying there are criminal allegations, the prosecutor cannot come into the courtroom and say anything to you because you're not in pro se status. Makes sense, right? The issues of law are threefold. The issues of law are status, jurisdiction, and adjudication. The first thing that happens when you walk into a courtroom in your corporate ward status is that they already make the assumption that you are a ward of the state and that you don't know any better. So they immediately start adjudicating you. As Moors, the first thing that happens when we walk into a courtroom is that we place our status on the record. On the record. We come in with our flag. We come in with our treaty. We come in with the Constitution we signed with them, and understanding that the Constitution is a contract. It's a contract between who? It's a contract between the United States Republic and the United States of America. But there are certain clauses in that contract that apply to Moors, which takes us back to the Treaty of 1787. But that contract between the United States and the United States of America does not apply to us other than that part that discusses the treaty. So it's not relevant for us to go into any courtroom and argue about their ordinances, their codes, their statutes. The only thing we're in there to talk about is...
So I was gonna do a Sovcit 101 on the U.S. Republic. Then I realized the Moors also do the U.S. Republic, and I'm not quite sure the difference in the two, or if there is a difference in the two. And then, if you guys didn't see the first video, the treaty she's referring to is the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, that one that's referred to often in courts.
Have we violated the treaty? Have we violated that part, which is Article 6 of the Constitution, that applies to us? That's the only question in the courtroom. Because the status of the individuals looks like this.
Get her a permanent marker. Can't read it. Status, maybe, with a long A. No.
You and the judge. There's nobody else that you need to discuss anything with in the courtroom besides the judge. The prosecutor is invisible to you. Now, what do you have to say to that judge? My honor, not your honor. What is your status? What is your name? What is your nationality?
Oh, I hate my honor so much.
And do not let them get away with saying, I am a U.S. citizen. You cannot be a citizen and sit a bench. You cannot be a member of the Bar Association, which is a private, non-profit corporation that issues registration numbers to its members who do not have a license to practice law in any state. Because in order to have a license to practice law, you must have your proper person. And in order to be in propria persona in this country, whether that be North America, Central America, or South America, you must be a Moor. If they want to be sovereign, they've got to go home. They cannot be sovereign here. All right? The next issue of law is jurisdiction. Now, let me stick with status. What is the status of the prosecutor? What is the status of the district attorney? What is the status
Is this a repeat? Am I playing the last part of the first video? Whatever, it's short.
of Lynn Abraham? Does anybody in this room know her nationality? I don't. That's an important question to ask her if she serves me with any papers. Who are you? Where is your license to practice law? Where is your proof of naturalization in my land? Who gave you the authority to be here? Right? Who issued you authority to act in any capacity, to file any complaint or any charges against anyone? That's the question. And I say to you, she can't answer those questions. Right? So then, if you walk into a courtroom and nobody else has the status to be there, automatically challenge the jurisdiction of the court. There's nothing else that you need to say. There's nothing else to be said. Stand mute. Let them proceed, because guess what? They cannot proceed.
Well, they can, and they do.
We have a question. After this one.
How do we make them honor that information that you just passed on?
You
In
don't.
the courtroom, as I have learned because I've spent a lot of time there,
Of course you have. I definitely played
there
this
is a
part.
language of silence. After you've said what you need to say, don't say any more. They will do the rest when you stand on your square. That's all you need to do. There's no need to stand there and argue with the judge, and trust me, I've done that. All right? And once you say what you need, status for the record, you can't bring your law into the court. So
Okay, let's skip to the next video because I thought I deleted it off the playlist, but we're going into the next part.
can be no court. So status is very important. And so if you're Moore, and let's say somebody else is Manchurian, and I'll get to that in a minute, when you have two people of different standings in the courtroom, you have to decide what law applies. Is there a treaty between the two? Do they have a constitution? Do they have any other trade agreement or contract that binds them and obligates the parties? That's the question. All right? So if you walk into the courtroom and they immediately start adjudicating, you have no idea what law they're using. And I guarantee you, because status has not been established for the record, they're not using any law that applies to you. And they're not using any law that applies to them. They're simply using corporate policy, which is discretionary. If they like you today, they'll let you off. If they don't like you tomorrow, they'll give you some time or a fine. Okay? So status and then jurisdiction. Jurisdiction is going to determine what area, what geographical area encompasses the authority that that judge or that court has. All right? So if you're in a...
I feel like she gets the jurisdiction things correct. I mean, geographical area that the crime is committed.
municipal court or a court of common pleas. Don't go in there talking about the Constitution, because they don't have jurisdiction to discuss the Constitution with you. Do not go into a state court discussing the Constitution unless it's the state's Constitution, because the United States' Constitution they have no jurisdiction over, but they won't tell you that. They'll dismiss the case. Different jurisdictions. And don't go into federal court talking about city ordinances. You understand the difference? Okay. Jurisdiction. Then adjudication. Once you get to the part about adjudication, you have to ask the question, do you understand the law that applies to you, that applies to this matter? Because there's two types of jurisdiction. Jurisdiction over the matter and jurisdiction over the person.
Hey, Slay.
All right? Does the court have both? They must have both in order to proceed. They don't tell you these things, but this is very important. So if the court has gotten to the point of adjudication, all right, which for me, I don't have that problem. But once the court gets to the point of adjudication, then they're ready to start prosecuting. They're ready to find you guilty of something, some kind of way. And the reason for that is because it's a business. And once you enter there and they seize jurisdiction over you, they adjudicate for the sole purpose of getting some money. That's the bottom line. They don't care about you, whether you're innocent or whether you're guilty, none of that. How much money are they going to get out of this? And their little club that they have called the Bar Association, their members have to be fed. So they want to make sure that this one gets fed and that one gets fed. And that's fine, because that's their corporate thing. That's the way they make money. And if they're going to make money being deceitful and all that, that's the karmic baggage they've got to carry.
Hey,
But you
Gertrude.
don't want to be a participant to it. That's all. Okay.
It's like, just because I know you're going to ask or say something, this was a kind of a pop-up stream. I didn't schedule it.
Color of law. Colorable, color, means something that pretends to be something that it's not. Colorable court, colorable money, colorable law, colorable people. Any people who call themselves colored, Negro, African American, Indian, Puerto Rican, Chinese, Australian, all of these are colorable labels, but these people, for the most part around the world, don't even know this. But because they call themselves Chinese, as I was getting ready to say to you, they are part of a corporate nation state as well, because the country of China is Manchuria. The nation state, the corporate ward nation state is China. That is not the country or the sovereignty of the people. The people are Manchurian. All right? You understand? Say anybody who wants to call themselves Puerto Rican. Puerto Rico is a corporate nation state.
Has anybody ever heard of Puerto Rico? I have never once in my life heard of Puerto Rico.
It is a private, non-profit corporation that has a charter issued by the Moors, where they have the authority to conduct commerce and trade on the island of Borncano.
A what?
Boricua, right? Boricua. That's the name of the people. Borncano is the name of the island. Puerto Rico is the private non-profit corporation that has the charter to operate within the geographical boundaries of Borncano. Most Puerto Ricans don't even know that. I go around telling people all the time, you're not this, you're not that. This is who you really are, because people have grown up into slavery for generation after generation in all these corporate nation states who belong to the United Nations, which is a private non-profit corporation trade association for nation state corporations. Got it? In order to belong to the United Nations, you have to be a corporate ward state, nation state. Otherwise, they don't want you. And they will go to war against a country and take the people out of their sovereign capacity and say they're setting up democracy all around the world, so that they can take people out of their sovereign capacity and take them away from the law and impose corporate statute on them. And that's exactly what they do. All right? Now, color of law is in full swing all around the world. All around the world. And they have a clique where they're all intermingled and they all agree to participate together in this game. Right? Now, it doesn't matter where you go. Just like most people think you need a passport to travel from company to company to company that are called nation states. So you do need a passport if you call yourself black or African American or a U.S. citizen or any of those
Me
things.
too.
Yes, you need a passport to travel from one corporate nation state to another. But when you're traveling from one country to another, you do not need a passport. And those countries will tell you you don't. Depends on what you call yourself. You understand? Okay.
It's this video is so much better with the chat. It's so much better with the chat.
Why do we have colorable law and colorable courts? During the Civil War, the Moors went to war against each other. Now, we destroyed ourselves in this. The Europeans did not come here and bring us down. We did that from inside.
I'll tell you what I think about peace and
On the
friendship.
carnage. Do you understand? All of these buildings all around here, as I told in class last night, they're ours. They belong to us. They're ancient, these buildings. There's a whole city underneath this city. They went and burned all the major cities, the major energy centers on this globe we called an earth. Our ancestors set up these energy centers that we call Philadelphia, New York, Boston, Atlanta, Detroit, right? Chicago, Miami.
So if the Moors go to war, the Moors who wrote the Treaty of Peace and Friendship, wouldn't the war itself just kind of make that void, essentially?
Phoenix, Los Angeles, they are energy centers. They're not where they are in huge, large cities just because of some coincidence. There's energy and power in these places. London, Rio de Janeiro, all right? And by the way, we're going to spell it like this, Rio de.
Oh no, she's gonna go. No.
Day, which is a normal title of the Moors. Rio de Janeiro. You understand? This thing is worldwide.
See if
This
she makes
flag
a
that we
bay.
carry with the red flag, with the five-pointed green star, with the pointing up, all right, is a worldwide flag. It's recognized all around the world, all right? So, the reason we have colorable courts and colorable law is because during the Civil War, when the Moors warred against each other, there were those who agreed to participate in the game called the corporate ward game. And there were many who made a
She
lot
said
of money.
day.
They got a commission on everybody they got to sign a birth certificate, because the birth certificate is a contract that puts you in slavery. And they got money. William Penn got very rich, all right? All the Quakers got very rich. All the abolitionists got very rich on this Civil War ward state game. Robert Morris and a lot of these buildings that are named after these people in downtown Philadelphia became multimillionaires, and their ancestors are still wealthy today
Yep.
over the corporate ward game.
We keep that
All
one up
right?
there for a little
Now,
bit.
the reason that we have to have colorable law and colorable courts is because so many of us agree to be slaves. We don't need colorable courts and colorable law otherwise. But the people who agree to be bound by the 14th Amendment, which covers civil rights, which covers Negroes and African Americans and Jews and Hispanics and Indians and all these people like that, if you agree to call yourself that, they have to create a statute
thinking the
that
same
applies
thing.
to you, because law doesn't apply to you. So it's not their fault. It's the fault of the people who agree to be outside of their sovereign capacity. Okay? And now, if you walk in and you want to reestablish it, they're at odds because they're not accustomed to people walking in who are conscious and sovereign. You can't say.
Gertrude, the more she talks, the more she reminds me of like a group of stoners or some people on mushrooms that just come up with some stuff and just run with it, and then somebody sober is standing around them thinking that it's a good idea, and then they get one one reasonable, somewhat well-spoken person to take this to the mic.
Separate the two when you walk into a courtroom. And when I say you walk in on your square, I don't standing with your feet at a right angle. All right? I mean, not to be deterred when you know you're in the right and you have law on your side. Do not back down. But you do not have to be belligerent. Trust me, I've been there. Don't do that.
They're all belligerent.
Okay? Now,
Almost
the law
always.
Of the land. The law of the land, as it applies to the United States of America and the United States, is their Constitution. The law of the land, which supersedes that, which if you go and read the Supremacy Clause of the Constitution, you will see that the treaty, in particular the Treaty of 1787, which was last signed and ratified in 1986. All right, it's re-signed every 50 years. That it's the treaty that is the actual law of the land. Now, that being the case, how do we make that treaty work for us? We always say they're not honoring the treaty. This is the oldest treaty in the world. Did y'all know that? And it's the only unbroken and longest standing treaty in the world. Did y'all know that? Now, that treaty protects us. You need to go get a copy of it, the Treaty of Peace and Friendship of 1787, all right? Signed by the Emperor of Morocco. Actually, he signed it in the month of Ramadan in the year 1201, all right? Which translates into the Gregorian calendar year of 1787 because they added 586 years to our calendar, all right? So, in terms of...
Okay. Now, she's just crazy.
Using the law of the land, and when you express these things to them, you don't even have to go into a
Yeah.
lot of detail about it, because those who rule and those in government and those who sit on those judicial benches know what this doctrine is. And they
A lot of times when I'm watching sovereign citizens in court, I'm looking up case law and I'm looking at um, Black's law and I'm looking at just the way I'm trying to make sense of something that's nonsensical with their arguments. But with her, I don't need to do that. I just know it's bullshit. So yeah, you don't need to check. It's wrong.
adhere to it, but the problem is there's not enough of us standing up defending it. Okay? How to correct the issue? The people must be in their proper
Sometimes
person.
he
The people
breakdances on
must act
6th.
in their sovereign capacity. As the brother said earlier, how do you behave as a sovereign? How do you behave as a sovereign? You behave as a sovereign by not getting so upset and ranting and raving and causing a scene. There's no need to do any of that. As I said in the courtroom, as in with law enforcement and any of that, there's a language of silence. Just like the mummers who march down Broad Street every New Year's and they're playing it up and playing it up. What does mummery mean? Silent mockery. Who are they mocking? Us. All right? But they understand the language of silence, and they deal in it all the time with their secret signs and symbols. But don't be angry with them for using these things. Why not? We taught it to them. Okay? Don't be angry with
You
them
invented
because
sign
they have
language?
gotten out of control with the power that we gave them. We created these people. We can't now turn around and say, now we don't want you, now, go off someplace else and this and that. And if you know the history, you know that what the Moors did to these people when they were first created. The Moors considered them subhuman. They couldn't speak Latin, which is our original language. They couldn't go to school. They couldn't own land. They couldn't vote. They were totally disenfranchised. And this is why the Moors commissioned Benjamin Bey, who you know as Benjamin Banneker, who is also Benjamin Franklin, by the way, okay, to teach these people the science of government. He did that for a select few. Unfortunately,
So somebody looked that one up. She's saying Benjamin Franklin is a bay, which I feel like you'll waste your time looking it up, but since it's the first I've heard of it, and then the whole parent, it might be worth the look up. It's probably not, but still, it might be interesting.
it couldn't go and spread as widely as it should have been. Now we have a situation on our hands where we as Moors refuse to be who we are. In the civil rights movement, there were those who led it who were paid to get us off our square, and we agreed to be there. We agreed to be called black, and we're proud of it, remember? Now, who could tell us any different? Now, the Europeans have a dilemma because they've lied to us so much and we have forgotten so much that if they stand up to tell us the truth, would we believe them? The majority of the people who call themselves African American, right now, if you tell them they're not from Africa, they'll give you hell. Am I right? Yes, we are. Now, can you imagine you're getting that feedback from them. Can you imagine what they would say to a European who now try to tell them they're not from Africa? You understand? Now you've got Bill Gates who's given $1 billion to the United Negro College Fund, to keep more Negroes out of their sovereign capacity, and they jump right into the boat, right? Play it up to the hilt. Oh, what a great thing he's done. They love him to death. Now, if the Moors try to stand up and say who the man really is, you got all these black people who are going to criticize you. Leave the man alone, they'll say. All right? But we know the truth. So we correct the issue only by standing on our square, whether we're Moors or whether we're not. All right?
That's the part that nobody seems to remember or understand, that Morocco is not in the U.S.
Now, let's talk about what law really is. Law is based upon the science of astrology, astrologic. Don't let anybody ever tell you that astrology is for entertainment purposes. It is the science that rules. It is the science that governs. As I said to you, what all law is, all law. all law. Do we praise Allah?
Right,
Absolutely.
right by the Rico.
Do we praise Christ? Absolutely, because what, not who, what is Christ? Christ is the great I am. And if you know what Islam means, let me tell you this.
Oh no. I self-law am more? Or master?
I, self, law, am master. I am the master of my own fate. I am Allah.
Try to tell any Muslim that and see what happens.
All right? When you walk into the courtroom and you know these things, trust me, you get a different result. When they ask you your name, you never say, my name is. That's a label. What do you say? I am. I am. You never swear on the Bible. You affirm. You affirm on the Bible. And as Sister Thana here said to me, oh, they try to trick you. They'll say, do you swear or affirm? No. You just say, I affirm. Because what? I am. And who you are. And that's your status. And nobody can compete with that. Nobody can take that from you. And no matter what paperwork you submit to a court, what is the most important thing is when you walk into a courtroom and you speak the law. And when you speak the law in a courtroom, guess what? You speak it into existence. Because a thought is an activity. It's real. It may not be something you can touch. But as soon as that thought transpires into a word, it becomes a spell. That's why they call it spelling. You get it? Now.
Oh my God.
Law is based upon the zodiac. Now, when you walk into a courtroom, there's all kinds of things going on. There's sacred geometry going on in the courtroom. In fact, the courtroom is set up according to sacred geometry. All right? And here's what happens when you're in there.
She doesn't have credentials. This is the part 2 video, but I don't think part 1 gave her credentials either.
The judge is at the top of the triangle. Got it? When you walk in there, and as I had shared in another class, to deal with marriage, it's the same thing. And I'm going to talk about that also in a minute. You walk in there,
Yeah,
and
she
when
is.
you appear, never tell the court that you are appearing. Look in the law dictionary and find out the definition of appear. Never do that. You go into the courtroom and you make a what? A special appearance.
Oh my God. Sadly, I think she's a legend in these people's minds too.
Not general. That will get you in trouble every time if you appear in a courtroom. And all of these little nuances, they know these things. And they are put there to trap you who don't know. So when you walk in there and you're on your square, being on your square means to know these things and not to walk in the courtroom uncomfortable. Because when you know them, you have no reason not to come to court, do you? You want to be there because you want to make a special appearance to challenge the jurisdiction of the court. Why? Because of the lack of status. And once jurisdiction is challenged, it must be proven for the record. It must be proven for the record before the court can proceed. Do you understand? The judge must come with his nationality papers. He must come with the flag of the country, not the nation state that he represents. That United States flag with the 50 stars, which now should be 48 because there are only 48 states. Did y'all know that? 2 of them dropped out. Hawaii and Alaska are no longer states. Did y'all know that? They're no longer.
Dude, this lady is so full of shit. They didn't drop out. They joined a little bit late, but way before she gave the speech.
They're no longer states. The treaty was up. The courtroom. You should always have your paperwork precede you. Don't walk in there without first having submitted
Hopefully
some
not.
document to
Hey,
the
Kurt
court
Smith.
to let them know that, yes, I'm coming. And look in the law dictionary and look up the definition of come.
Oh
It's
no.
different than appear. Now, you can come to the courtroom, all right, and make a special appearance. You understand? Never, you get the subpoena or whatever it is in the newspaper, and don't believe all this other stuff where they tell you, don't go to court if you get these papers, because they will put a man out
AK-4.
for you, and you do not need that, and there's no reason for you not to go. You should go.
Does anybody want to look up the definition of? Never mind.
You should go, and the more of us that do go and challenge the jurisdiction and let them see.
We're watching some more speech from like 15 years ago. But to me it's funnier watching. Well, I mean, she was talking about definitions and then used the word come, but then or then legal fictions. Never mind.
Scared because we're standing on the square. They will stop calling you to court, right? Because the people who operate in their proper person, and the more and more of us that go in there operating in our proper person, they're going to begin to see the game is up. The secret's out. We can't do this anymore, all right? Justice died upon the cross. What does that mean?
That's what I meant.
I'm no artist.
I think I'm caught up. Oh God, this is so stupid.
The cardinal points of the zodiac. Cardinal, as in Catholic Church, cardinal.
She's in the zodiac now. I'm literally crying.
They are your
Hey, Jill.
deacons of the zodiac. Deacons, as in the Christian church.
Oh God, this is so bad.
They are your cardinal points. And they apply to everything you do. Who you are, your character, everything that surrounds you, your environment, the country where you live, everything is affected by the different signs of the zodiac. When justice died on the cross, here's what happened.
Justice died on the cross?
That's our solar system, and that's the sun in the middle.
K-Fire, I downloaded a video that you covered like today or yesterday. I don't know if I'm going to recover it, but you did a really good job with it, by the way.
And that's Earth.
It was a sovereign citizen
The third rock
something.
from the sun, which is its planetary position. That's not its name. And its planetary position will be changing, is changing every day. And it's speeding up and getting closer and closer to the sun until it will occupy the second position, rock from the sun. This is the natural life cycle of a planet. And all the planets are coming in, and then more planets are being created out further beyond Pluto. So what they call the greenhouse effect is the natural heating up of the planet. And all the
Oh, I wonder, this speech was probably given before Pluto lost its planet status. I wonder what the Moors think about that.
those who cannot meet the heat requirement as the planet heats up will be eliminated from the planet. This is the science of the zodiac. Now, just like we have the zodiac, which I just showed you, based upon what is called the geocentric form of astrology. Geocentric because it's centered based on the earth as its center point. Then there's the heliocentric form of astrology,
No, it did not.
which is based upon the sun being the center. Sun is helio, earth is geo. Everybody understand that? Now,
What
just
about
like
Mercury
we
and
have
Venus?
Our signs apply to the earth here. The sun also has its center point here. Everybody understand that? Does everybody understand that our entire solar system is spinning around the Milky Way? The earth spins on its axis.
That's pretty good.
The moon spins on, right? Spins around. Well, let me back up. The moon doesn't spin around the earth like they told you, but the moon does have a cycle. Now,
It's like that DUI video: 22,000 miles an hour, 66,000 miles an hour, 440,000 miles an hour.
the earth spins on its axis, and the earth spins around the sun. The sun spins on its axis, and this entire solar system spins around the Milky Way. Everybody understand that? That's basic, right? Very basic. Now, check this out.
Oh God. Check it out. She
It
drew some
takes
lines.
the sun 26,000 years to make one revolution around the Milky Way. Everybody understand that? This is science here. I'm not trying to make up stuff just to lie to you, okay? And all of this, believe it or not, is relative to law. That's why I'm explaining it to you, all right? And the subject is justice died upon the cross. So I'm coming back to that, but I have to give you this information first so you'll understand. 26,000 years for the sun to make one journey around the Milky Way, all right? If we divide that by 12, why are we dividing it by 12? There are 12 signs of the zodiac, all right? Now, if we divide it by 12, this is the number. $2,166 years.
Yep,
So,
she is.
our solar system spins 2,166 years in one sign. We just left the age of Pisces. An age is equal to 2,166 years. Now, you've heard the term, an age, but nobody ever thought about it. We say, for ages, what's an age equal to? Mathematically, it's equal to 2,166 years. Got it? Now, we just entered the age of Aquarius.
It's the
All right,
dawning of the
2,166 is represented here.
age of Aquarius. Wrong. Everything's wrong.
See that? So each one, right, has a time frame of 2,166.
I could
Everybody
probably just
understand
keep
that?
this one up here for
Here's
everything.
what happens.
Aquarius. What's she writing? Probably the word
I don't need to write
prosecutor.
all of them, right? You all understand the point. We just
Oh.
left the age of Pisces, which was, or an eon. An age and an eon are equal to 2,166 years. Now, we just left the age of Pisces, which is represented by what we know as Jesus. This is why Jesus is represented by the sign of the fish. It's over. The age of Pisces is over, all right? Not to come around again until we go through all of the other 11 signs of the zodiac. Now we're in the age of Aquarius. What does that mean? Justice, and any Mason will tell you, if he can unravel the allegory, is Jesus. Jesus was born.
What? Have any of you seen the clip of the Christian conspiracy woman who went on about monster cans? If you flip them upside down, it is some Hebrew number for 666. This is like that times a thousand. No, I haven't seen that.
Why? Because what's the opposite of Pisces? Jesus was born of a virgin mother. Virgo is the virgin. Virgo is the virgin, right? Who in here is Virgo? Anybody? Virgo is the virgin, right?
Nobody's going to raise their hand.
So Jesus was born of the virgin mother, Virgo. Got it? All of this stuff in the Bible, because understand that the Bible is not a religious book. The Quran is not a religious book. They are science books. Biblios Heliotech is the Bible. It's the full Latin name of the Bible. It is the science. It's an elementary science where Moors are concerned. It's the science of the study of the cycle of the sun. Helio meaning study, meaning sun. Biblios meaning record of. Y'all understand? The Quran, chronology, maxima, the great chronology. The Quran is the great chronology of the science and the study of the asteroid,
Is she trying to say chronology? Because it sounds like chronology.
plane. Y'all understand? Okay, so justice died on the cross. Here's what happened. Those
them
that we
it
call
is.
Europeans are Albions. Europeans are Albions.
Europeans are
ruled through the
Albions.
age of Pisces. So when we say the time is up, we're not just saying this by conjecture. We're saying this because the time, the 2,166 years that they had is over. I'm not saying this because I have any bias against them or any of that. This is the science of it, and they know it. The problem is...
I put that chronology like right when she had her hands up like this. It was perfect.
Our people are not ready for it. How can justice return under the age of Aquarius if we're not ready? The age of Aquarius demands information. It is the technology age Aquarius is. Aquarius demands answers. Our youth demand answers. They demand the truth. They demand this truth because they cannot proceed and lead the world without this knowledge. They cannot do it. They cannot do this without the understanding of the zodiac, which is this.
Okay, so imagine you're into this, right? You paid to go see this lady. You're sitting in this room, and when you leave here, how are you going to retain any of this? You're going to have to pay another $30 to buy the video. Yeah, so how do I get out a traffic ticket? Exactly.
Zodiacus is the ancient name of the term zodiac. Zodiacus implies the first woman. Who is this?
Oh my God.
Womb.
Oh my
man.
God.
We are man with a womb. That's who we are. No spirit can enter this plane without the agreement of a womb man. Period. We are the vehicle. We have a covenant with the cosmos where we agree to bring those spirits, which we call monads, from the astral plane and summon them to this physical plane. And it is only through the womb man that they can leave, exit, and then reposition themselves in another plane. All of this relevant to all law. Now, this is why when the brother talked about getting our land back, I know this issue very well. I fight this fight every day on top of all my other duties and responsibilities and everything else that I do. So when we talk about justice returns under the age of Aquarius, this is why when we walk into a courtroom and we understand that the court, as I explained to a class just recently, a court is also a corporation. They don't hide that from you. They put it right on the seal, right behind the judge. And they tell you that this court was incorporated in 1878, whatever it is. This court was incorporated, and what words do they use? Founded. So when you see the word founded, and you see the word established in, it already tells you that they're a corporation. Understand? And anybody who owns a corporation does what? Own a slave. Because a corporation is a slave holder. Understand?
Oh no.
Now, let's talk about the issues that come up in court.
We're hitting the straw man
I'm
finally.
with time, Noah.
All right, so now we went all the way to Pluto. We kicked out most of the astrological signs, and we kicked out Alaska and Hawaii. Now we're back into the courtroom. Fruit of the womb.
All right. The point I want to make real quick relative to going to court and getting land back and all these issues and all these injustices that have been done to us, when we participate in organizations that take us off our square, that adds to the chaos and the confusion. So it's better not to join anything at all and just be yourself if you're not going to be a Moor. But even if you're going to be a Moor, understand that sovereignty is an individual thing. Don't go into court talking about, I belong to such and such organization. And be clear about that, because as soon as you say an associate, they'll love you to say that. So the first thing they're going to do is, how are we going to get some money? All right? Because that's the name of the game, money. Now, let's talk about who they are, why they exist, these courts. First of all, we know they're not really courts. We know they're colorable. They know they're colorable. They have to be colorable because they're dealing with colorable people, right? If we choose not to be colorable people, we don't belong in there. So, the court is this.
Oh, here comes an
Just like the
acronym.
Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, just like the Bar Association, just like the United States of America, they are this.
Maybe not. Private. Non-profit. Yeah, or you just throw some
They are a
paint.
private non-profit corporation.
You could just throw some paint on people. Everybody be colorable.
If you get some mail that belongs to me, do you go and show up and say you're me? No, you can't do that. So if a private non-profit corporation sends you a document and you have no contract with them, why should you go up and debate the contract? Because if you don't have a contract, right? If you don't have a contract, you don't have a contract. It's as simple as that. You don't need to go there and say all that. Just say, because here's my status and this and that and the other, right? Don't go in there trying to debate whether you owe money on the contract or not. The bill was too high and all that. And I'm not saying that because of what you said. Understand that. If you don't have the contract, why are you discussing the bill? It doesn't make sense, does it? First, you have to have a contract. So the first thing you need to understand when you walk in there, I don't care what the issue is. Here's the question. And I write things down, specific things I write down, because when I write them down, I'm spelling. Understand?
Oh my God. Back to spelling.
Do we
have a contract?
If I rescind my birth certificate, do I agree to belong to the corporate ward state that calls itself the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, which is a private non-profit corporation? If I don't have a birth certificate with you, what agreement do we have that you should summon me to answer anything? Right? If I don't have an agreement with the parking authority, which I don't, do they have the right to send me a bill saying that I owe them for a parking ticket? It's ludicrous. Now, the thing to say is, if you don't have the contract, you have certain rights, and you need to exercise those rights. And there are codes even that are there, and laws that are there to protect you if you don't have a contract with somebody and they're trying to make you adhere to a contract. I don't care what kind of contract it is. If you don't have a driver's license and they pull you over, the first thing you need to say is, I don't have a contract. They may still give you the ticket, but understand that if there are other things, which I already explained, in the language of silence, which because we are amongst non-Moors tonight, I will not show you. However, there's a language of silence that you can speak to these people and they will not bother you. You can trust me on that. However, if you are not
Trust her on that. See if that works for you.
comfortable and you happen to get off your square and you get the ticket and you have to go to court, that's the first thing you have to say. I don't have a contract. And all of these courts, because they are corporations, the only type of policy they can deal with is contract policy, not contract law. contract policy. So the first thing you must ask is what? Do we have a contract? And if the answer is no, then I'm here under threat, duress, and coercion. You are violating my rights. It's as simple as that. You have no other reason to be there. Does that make sense? Okay. If the state comes in and says,
George
you're not
W.
treating your children right and we want to take them, right? The first thing you have to say is, state, do I have a contract that says I gave my children to you? At what point produce the contract? Produce the contract. If you send me a bill, and understand that if you belong to the corporate board state, you can't make these arguments because you do have a contract, which is the birth certificate, which is the marriage license, which a marriage license is your contract, is the woman's contract with the state and the man's contract with the state. It's not a contract between the man and the woman. Never was, never will be. Unless you have a prenuptial agreement or something else, you don't have a marriage contract with the one you think you love. You have a contract with somebody else who becomes a third party to your life, always, till you rescind the contract. All right? Because that's not how you get married. Marriage is under all law. All right? And then what you're responsible to do is to place the oath that you take between the two of you on the public record. Where? Where do you place information on the public record? Do you know? With the county. The counties are ancient.
Oh,
They
God.
belong
I
to
thought you were
us.
going to say, like, the Zodiac.
They belong to us. Our ancestors named the counties. Our ancestors formed the counties. Our ancestors set up the government of the counties, and the counties operate according to common law, which is royal law, which is Muslim customary law, which is Muslim customary law. Did y'all know that? The counties belong to us. So let me write this for you.
Oh, God. I think it's almost done. I think there's 10 minutes left. Maybe.
How many of you think you live in Philadelphia County?
I definitely don't live in
But for those who-
Philadelphia.
Okay. Okay. All right. Here we go.
Yeah, speaking of no kings, I've got another speaker that talks about the sovereignty of each individual being essentially their own monarchy. Yeah, not Philadelphia. Everything. Everything.
Do you recognize
So
that there's
you're
a
wrong about
difference between the
everything.
two? There's a difference between Philadelphia County, which our ancestors set up with certain geographical boundaries, and that corporate, nonprofit corporation that calls itself the County of Philadelphia. It is a corporation chartered to conduct business and commerce and trade and all that within the geographical boundary of Philadelphia County. They are two different things. They are two different things. So when you see documents, pay attention, because all documents that you get don't have County of Philadelphia on them. And you know the difference between the two, because if you get documents from the County of Philadelphia, you know that you're receiving correspondence from a corporation. Do you understand? And if you're receiving correspondence from a corporation, the first question you must ask is, do we have a contract? Now, if you receive correspondence from the county, that's common law. You have the responsibility to respond and adhere to that, because guess what? You are
Hey, Java
part
puppy.
and parcel of that county. Our ancestors set up these geographical boundaries for us, all right? Now, likewise, with any other county or city, pay attention to this one little word. It's a very dangerous word. I'm going to
Oh
tell
my
you.
God.
And as I tell people in my class, when that word shows up, you're in trouble. The reason is because most of you prior to tonight, you didn't understand that there was a difference in when they use that little word of. But trust me, there's a difference between whether you're dealing with government or corporation. Government or corporation. You have to know the difference. And if you don't know the difference between these things, they're going to have you swinging left and right in the dark and hitting nothing. Okay? want to explain to you that when you're dealing in contracts, your status in the contract is very important. How do you establish your presence in a contract so that you are protected? Does anybody know how to do that? Because we're confronted with contracts all the time, and when we do not adhere to certain terms and conditions of the contract, which we did not understand from the very beginning, then we're dragged into court to answer for all kinds of claims and allegations on behalf of the corporation, and we don't even understand why we're there. We think, for the most part, the majority of us, and prior to tonight, you get a summons to appear in court. I don't care whether that's a civil action or a criminal action. You're on the defensive because you feel that inherently, maybe I have done something that warrants these allegations, even if you know for a fact that you're innocent. Because the way that corporate system operates, you are not innocent until proven guilty. You are guilty until proven innocent. And the reason is because, as some of these state sovereignty people would have you believe, the United States has declared war on the people. We're in a state of martial law. Well, of course you
If she's going to use that argument, we've been essentially in martial law or at war with our citizens since 1830.
are. If the people have agreed to be corporate wards of a state that's a private nonprofit corporation, and the government operates according to sovereignty, and you agree not to be sovereign.
Oh, by the way, if you guys missed the first video, you have to watch the first video just to tie this all together. And her explanation of the oh my God, oh God, it's escaping me. When she the proclamation. Oh my God, dude, I'm drawing a blank. My kids are screaming in the next room. Where the slaves were freed. You should go back and look at that. It's just a whole lot of ridiculousness.
And then what have you done? You've abandoned your government. The only thing the government can do is declare war on you. That's why you walk into a military tribunal when you walk into these courtrooms. That's why they have a military flag, which is a USA flag with the gold fringe, that lets you know you're in a military tribunal. And the reason is because you've agreed not to be sovereign. So the only way they can deal with you is in a military fashion.
That's the word, Emancipation Proclamation. God.
Okay. So how to protect yourself when you're dealing in, the first thing, I'm not going to really get into details of explaining to you how to stand on your square and how to be in court and all that. The first thing you must understand is how to exist in contracts. Because if you understand how to exist in contracts, that will significantly reduce your ever having to go to court, to the courtroom. Okay, to the courtroom. If you understand how to deal in contracts, because all these corporations do is deal in contracts.
Right.
And all the courts,
thinking's hard.
Systems, let me say that, do is deal in contracts. So if you're not familiar with the contracts, and the majority of their contracts are these. Adhesion contracts. Look in the law dictionary and look up the word adhesion, and what you're going to find is that an adhesion contract is a type of contract where there are terms and conditions that are a part of the contract of which you are not aware. And every time you sign a birth certificate, there's the balance of that contract is somewhere. Whenever you sign for a driver's license, the balance of that contract is somewhere. You don't have it, you've never seen it, but it does exist. And this is why they have the authority to issue you a ticket for all these different things and violations, because there's a contract somewhere that you've signed and you have not reserved your rights. So if you don't reserve your rights are considered waived upon signing of the contract, which means that you know, understand, and agree that there's an adhesion going on, and you don't care, or you otherwise are not aware. They don't care. They've got you to sign. How do you go back now and correct the fact that you signed all these adhesion contracts everywhere all your life? You've signed them. I know you have, because I have too. And now's the time for you to get back into your proper person so you can correct those contracts and get out of the ones you don't want to have and the ones you...
Yeah, there's no shouts to the crowd. There's one guy that stepped up to the mic and asked her a question, but other than that, you kind of hear some moans and some groans and a couple of light claps.
Choose to have, you can exist under your own terms and conditions. That's the most important part. That's long before you get to go into court. Because you can go to court all day long, but guess what? Unless you correct the problem, the root of the problem, which is not knowing how to exist in contracts, you'll constantly go to court, and that's a waste of your time. I'm sure you have many more productive things to do than to keep showing up in court, making special appearance and propria persona sui juris, and stating your status for the record, okay?
Her credentials are probably a lot of traffic stops.
Now, the first thing you need to do is contact. Contact those entities with whom you have a contract and tell them that in no uncertain terms you want to correct or otherwise change or revise the terms and conditions of your contract. You have the right to do that, and you must. All right? If you're going to have the contracts, exist in those contracts under your own terms and conditions. Just because somebody hands you an application and that application has pretty little boxes and everything on it, if there's categories up there that don't apply to you, don't fill it out. Add a box that applies to you. And then when we take people to the Social Security Administration to get their name corrected on their Social Security card, this is what happens. There's a section on there for race. Okay?
Race. Hey, Terrapin. That's probably the only one that matters. Safe flight.
Okay, that's just some of them. They may have a few more. I don't remember, okay? Do any of those boxes apply to you?
Blackway.
Not even the one other. It does not apply.
You know what's weird? Most of the time I fill out one of those where it asks for race. It never says white. It's usually not Hispanic on like a separate section.
To you. So what do you do?
Yeah. It's just ridiculousness.
You are a Moor. Tell them who you are. If you don't, and you put any other category up there, you have signed it and you have made a contract with them, and they're going to hold you to that contract. And then if you go back and try to change the contract, they'll say, well, they won't tell you in these words. They'll say, well, we can't do that. Well, why can't they do it? It's because you didn't reserve your rights, but guess what? They reserved all of theirs. And they have the right to not change the contract just because you want to. They reserve that right. Now,
maybe.
and the only way you
Yeah.
can get out of it is step out of the Uniform Commercial Code.
Okay, so at the very beginning I said there's a section I was missing. So from the last second to this was that section, but we're not going to miss anything. You guys. And by the way, the whole educational piece to this whole thing is basically whatever she says, assume the opposite is true.
Whether you're sovereign or whether you're not, you're dealing in commerce. And when you're dealing in commerce, there's an agreement, a uniform agreement in this country, not this nation, this country, that has a standard that protects people in their contracting, because you have the right to contract. Even in the treaty, you have the right to trade. You have the right to trade being without interference from any other third party, okay? You have the right to trade under your own terms and conditions, all right? Now, when you waive that right, and they don't tell you that you have waived the right, they're exercising their rights under the Uniform Commercial Code. And you're not. So go and look up the Uniform Commercial Code and look up those sections that apply to reserving your rights. I would tell you what those sections are tonight. But for me to just tell you does not help.
Actually, it'd have to be Bay.
You. It only helps you if you go look it up and you see it for yourself. Am I right, Fami Arasante? because they did that, and now they understand how to sign documents, not just because I gave some instruction on certain things. They've seen the verbiage in those books, and they've seen how it applies and how it has been used in the Supreme Court cases and all the treaty law that applies to these things. It's much better for you to go find it for yourself. So that's why I just give you that right there. The other part is this. You see my favorite word in there?
No. United States Code of the Laws.
The United States Code of the Laws. The United States Code of the Laws is the code that's used by all of the United States district courts and federal court. This is what they use. So if you go into federal court, you must cite the United States Code that applies to the violations that are made against you. That's all you need to do, because they understand treaty and understand. I've been there so many times discussing treaty and constitution and all those things like that. And trust me, when I go to court, they put everybody out the courtroom. And they post officers at the door on the inside and the outside because they don't want people to hear what I have to say. And then they come up with all these different little reasons and whatever and get me out of there because they don't want me in there. Because
So
I
hard.
know too much. And I will speak. So the United States Code of the Laws has also the different codes and the procedures, the federal rules of civil procedure in there. All of the criminal code, because understand, if there's a parking ticket, what they're saying is that we're suing you for a criminal offense. Did y'all know that? If there's a speeding ticket, that's a criminal offense. They're suing you in a criminal court. Do y'all understand that? They're filing criminal charges against you for something so simple. All right? If you agree to pay a tax bill and then you don't pay it, like with the Internal Revenue Service, because understand they're the Internal Revenue Service, they're a private, nonprofit corporation. There are 22 of them all around the country, and they compete for your business. They compete. They don't share information, and they collect money they're in the business of collecting money on behalf of the United States Treasury. That's their job. Doesn't mean you have to use them, but if you have a contract with them, which you sign your W-4, right? You signed a 1040 or 1040A or whatever, any of those other forms. You signed them. That's voluntary. Did you know your signature is voluntary? You can fill out the form and don't sign it and send it in. And even if you claim on there that...
No, they always accept cash. And they probably pass around a basket too, on top of whatever else she's getting paid for.
You say you owe them money as long as you don't sign it, you have not... right? Entered into a contract. You've given them all the information, but you have not entered into a contract which binds you. Do you understand? If you send the information, you have filed, and that's all that you're required to do. They don't say you're required to sign. They say, please sign. There's a difference. Please sign. Why? Please sign so we can come after you and take everything you got. Okay? So when you look up the United States Code of the Laws, you're going to find all kinds of things in there, because municipalities who have codes and regulations and all those things and the state statutes and all that, all of them fall up under the jurisdiction of the United States Code of the Laws. Because no municipality, no county, borough, township, city, state can make a law that's outside the boundaries of federal law. They must all adhere to federal law. But if you agree, if they come up with a policy and you agree and enter into a contract to participate and be a part of that policy, then when you try to go to the federal court for protection, the federal court, they're not going to tell you in words they'll dismiss the case, but the reason they're dismissing the cases is because somewhere along the line you signed a contract that behind your back has been produced and put into the court record. And what I always tell people to do is to go down to the file room and get a copy of the docket sheet and get a copy of your file of everything that's ever been put on the record concerning you. And then you go back and correct those things and say, produce the contract or take it out the file. You have to file your paperwork, your motion to the court, and say that these things were filed in violation of whatever code applies, or whatever UCC paragraph that applies. These things are in violation of UCC ... United States Code ... You petition the court to have them removed from your record. Do y'all understand how simple this is? Not hard. This is not rocket science. This is what it takes is your perseverance to follow through the steps and get this thing done. Because if you don't do it, certainly it's going to remain on your record. And guess what? No matter how long you live, you can always trace. They always go back and trace something on your record back to you. I don't care if you correct your name or anything like that, which I tell people, even when you correct your name, what we have people stop using your Social Security number as a trade number. That's one of the main things you have to do. Stop using that Social Security number. The Social Security Administration tells you, do not give your Social Security number to anyone. And anyone that you choose to give it to, you have the right to demand, one, how they're going to use it. And you have, under certain terms and conditions.
It's a holiday. Take some shots. I don't drink, but you take them for me.
To deny them to use it certain ways. For example, if you got something on your credit report, it's our Sante, we helped him resolve those issues. How did they get on there? Did you authorize that credit reporting company to send to receive any information? Do you have a contract with them? Do you have a contract with J.C. Penney, who you applied for the application? Did you tell them as a part of your contract that they could check your credit record? Is that part of the contract? The answer is no. That's not part of the contract, and they violated UCC and the United States Code by contacting that credit reporting bureau to get any information on you. And then the credit reporting bureau has violated UCC and the code of the laws to send any information relative to you because you did not explicitly authorize them to do so. So guess what? They have done damage to you, and then guess what? You have the right to sue for damages, am I right? Okay, so contracts and these courts, that's the only thing you're dealing with is contracts. Contracts, and never forget that. I'm going to write it down. Because I'm ready to close and open the floor for questions, and I just want to leave you with that word, contracts, and remember how to exist in contracts. Islam.
That's so stupid. Oh, the messed up part. Where'd my chat go? Hang on. The messed up part is that there's just so many freaking people that buy into that. There it is. First thing wrong. Oh, it's really big. Okay. Literally wrong about absolutely everything. I wish you got into at some point the just traffic stops, just to see how crazy those would have been. And then she also kept talking about at the very beginning. She basically said when you go to court, you say nothing, just stay on mute. But then she goes on to. She went on to that whole spelling thing, if you guys remember the spelling thing, and then, spell out the whatever bullshit she wants to say in court. And then, yeah, I don't have the Q&A. I wish I had the Q&A. It's cut off. You know what? Actually, I think I found another source for those videos. Hang on. Do I? Oh, dude, I might actually have it. Hang on. Dude, this would be crazy. All right. Let's see. Do they have the Q&A? No, dang it. I found somebody else who published that in one singular video as opposed to like 10. No, they don't have the ability to stand mute. And their message, like the people that write the scripts and the people the more queens and the more leaders and the United States Republic, blah, blah, blahs, and the script writers, they all have something that they set as a standard that's gotten so diluted by the people that follow them. Like, oh, that sounds good from her, and that sounds good, and then we'll just take all this and throw it at the judge and hopefully get a dismissal, and it actually works sometimes. Anyway. That is Queen V. Yeah, she didn't talk about the fee schedule. Well, did she? Maybe in the first video. No, I don't think she talked about the fee schedule, but I've got another speaker who's going to talk about the fee schedule. Anyway, to close out for later, I was hoping to jump on after Colin and just play some good old fashioned body cam for Sovcit Monday. But the body cam is from sovereign, more sovereign citizens. One of them I think I have three videos. Two of them you've probably definitely seen. One of them might be 50-50. If I don't play those tonight, I'll play them tomorrow. Um, Actually, Biggin played one of them live. So the one that Biggin played, I might just do a video on. Basically, my rule is if somebody else did it live, I'm not going to do it live, but I'm still going to stream it because if somebody happens to find my channel before they find one of those other ones, I want I want it to be available. And if they haven't done it live, I'll do it live. Um, as well as some other body cam stuff. Update the fee scale 5 million. Oh yeah. One of them was a five. There's a $5 million lawsuit on. Oh, Biggin is not on tonight. Well, shit. If Biggin's not on tonight, then I might just check in with the kids and then just start streaming again. Huh. Yeah, dude, you guys made the part two of the Moors was so much better with the comments. You guys were at one point. You guys had me laughing so hard I was crying. So I knew it was gonna be better with the comments. Way better with the comments. Um, oh, I'm glad I could be your backup, Terrapin. I was like, wait a second, there is quite a few of you still here past 410. Uh, okay, you know what? Here's what we'll do. Wait, let me see if I have anything downloaded, just to keep the ball rolling. Yeah, yeah. Get into the comments. Uh, I'm okay with being a big and backup. Hopefully, I could be like a option in the future. All right, let me see if I have anything downloaded. Let's see if I can keep the stream going. I might need to walk away for a little bit. All right, hang on. Let's see if I have any non-sovereign citizen. Oh, you guys, I stole one from Bama Mike that you probably haven't seen unless you follow Bama Mike. I don't know if you guys watch Mike Law Talk with Mike. And if you have been watching Law Talk with Mike for a while, you probably remember Bama Mike. Bama Mike. Bama Mike has got an awesome channel. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna throw in a video that you guys might not have seen, and it's a steal from Bama Mike. So Bama Mike's channel is awesome, and he doesn't seem to stream as much as he used to. But what's cool about what he does, all of his body cam, for the most part, from what I understand, he FOIAs himself. He goes, he does a lot of this research in the field. If you watch his channel, like he'll travel a lot to the scene of the crime or the scene of the trial or the scene of the house. So please check out Bama Mike. In the meantime, I'm going to steal one of his videos. Hopefully he doesn't get mad at me. Oh, but I don't really want to add it to the Sovcit 101. Yeah, whatever. I'll just do it. Alright, let's add Bama Mike. Okay. Smart as obey. Alright, guys, I'll play one from Bama Mike. Again, Bama Mike, if you see this, and this is just out of respect to you, because your channel's awesome. And it's the first time I've ever taken something from your channel, although I really want to steal your Magoo footage too. Alright, here we go. Make sure I have sound. I don't know if I've seen this one. I downloaded it with the intention to watch it later, but I don't think I actually finished it. Is that the name of the channel? Studstill? Herbert Studstill? Oh yeah, you can see a big old Bama Mike on the video. Again, his channel's awesome. And it's unique too.
Final stop victory, so.
Alright, I'm gonna go make sure my wife isn't going crazy with the kids. BRB. I can't believe I just said BRB.
Tribal Marshal, Rhode Island. Tribal Police. Something Nation.
Is it Herbert, a guy that Van Balen covers?
Hey sir, how you doing? It's good. My name's Brown with the Sheriff's Office. The reason why I'm stopping is your tag is not. What state is that? Rhode Island. Okay. Okay, and you also have a white headlight out as well, okay? Yes, sir. Fit your right side, it should blink pretty fastly. Does it malfunction sometimes? Okay, what is it your vehicle?
Yeah.
Okay, that's the reason to stop, bro. You guys driving license on? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Hey, you got a driver's license.
Well, passport and diplomat.
Okay, you take it off, Punky? What state is this?
This the whole thing.
You're Indians?
Yeah.
So, okay. Okay, is this your government name? And your date of birth? And the same thing with you? Okay, well. So it's not under any states? Yeah. The whole country? Okay. So are you law enforcement?
You're law enforcement. You're not.
Marshals? Okay. Marshals for what?
Tribal mode. You're Indian tribal.
Okay. Which are considered police officers, right? Just give me 1 sec, Brian.
Yeah, from my understanding, it's fake. Or it's, like, sovereign stuff. Cherokee people. I think Mike said this has been in court since 2021, at the beginning of the video.
Hey, so what is this? Pretend. Sorry?
That's this.
Yeah, from Brian Kemp.
Just to make sure, a tribal group sent to the governor of Georgia, Brian Kemp, a letter asking to be recognized as a government of their own. The governor, Brian Kemp, never responded and left them undelivered. left them undelivered. Oh, they seem to think this still counts, though. So they sent a letter to the governor asking to be their own government. The governor doesn't respond, but they think, yeah, the letter's good by itself.
What is it saying, this?
You as a nation. Okay. What's your middle name? You don't have a middle name? So your middle name is not Alexian? You never had a driver's license in Patterson, PA? Never had one?
Oh shit,
Okay,
this video is kind of long.
Yeah, but do you have a driver's license that's within the states, any 50 states, 51 states, that say that you
How
are
any of
permitted to
this
drive
works?
or operate a motor vehicle on any public highways? Okay. What is your nation? Okay.
Keep showing your phone,
But
buddy.
even as Indians, you're still permitted by the laws of the state, right? You can't go out and commit murder and expect, because, I'm sorry?
We're registered in every state.
Okay.
We're registered in every state. Salongi is the Cherokee word for Cherokee people, a fraudulent group calling itself Salongi Nation as part of the sovereign citizen movement is not a legitimate federally recognized Native American tribe. The fraudulent, words are hard, Salongi Nation has been identified as a Moorish. Oh, you know what? It's perfect if it's Moorish. Then it totally goes along with the whole, I could speed it up, but they got an issue with that. If it's Morse, it goes along with the videos I just played, so perfect. Sovereign citizens that blend sovereign citizen beliefs with concepts of Moorish Science Temple. There's a Moorish Science Temple. Members of this group have impersonated law enforcement using fake credentials. Individuals associated with the group have been arrested for impersonating police and attempting to bring firearms into federal building.
So we're tribal Moorish.
Okay.
Yeah, the only problem is I downloaded the videos into the system I'm using today, which doesn't give me the capacity to speed it up, so I might have to do the click around thing.
Tribal monster.
Okay.
It's just like your tribal.
Which is what? Law enforcement? Okay, which classifies y'all as what? Peace officers?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and what official duties are y'all doing now?
We work on a case.
What kind of case?
We work on a case, so we can, I can ask you what your work says you're working on, you can't ask what they do. We work on cases.
Good, but this doesn't say anything.
This says papers are submitted to your governor.
Okay.
Or it's in his file.
But the governor has not signed it.
Okay. It's submitted to.
It's submitted to him, but it's not been signed as in it's official or it's the law. Does that make sense? Couldn't do this.
Cool. I'm here with Orchestra L. Brown.
El Braille?
We have
Oh.
a couple questions.
Yeah, I don't have no questions for him. Like, I just need y'all
Lawful
to identify
tribal
yourself
attorney
because
general.
Both of y'all have. This is not a driver's license, or this is a form of identification, but it's not a driver's license. You're operating a vehicle within the states of Georgia, right? You need a actual driver's license which permits you in any state to drive or operate this vehicle. Okay?
It said on ID.
But it's not a driver's license at all. Registered in any state.
Can you speak? Can you speak? Go ahead.
Hey, sir, I'm gonna need you to come back in my car, okay? I need you to exit the vehicle and come back in my car. I need you to say within your time of verification. Driver, I need you
But
to
my
exit the
phone
vehicle.
says it's true.
Everybody like
Driver, exit the vehicle.
So normally, yes. Today I'm using just OBS though.
Is it? I'm sorry. You have any tickets still?
I'm not doing any of this right now until my investigation is complete. Drive and exit the vehicle.
You'd have to sign a contract to get that fight song.
So what is going on here? Sir? What is you don't have a driver's license, right? It said that your driver's license in PA is suspended.
I never had a license.
Yes, you do.
I have my license for relation. That's all license.
Okay, so you don't have an actual driver's license in the States.
All states is all the 50 states, and it's classes I read on there putting that about me.
Okay, so what peace officer are you?
What do you mean?
Like
You guys want to hear something crazy? So I worked in the rental car business for a long time at an airport. And what's crazy is that if you come to the US from Russia or Mexico or Poland or wherever, assuming that we have a relationship to some degree with one of those countries and or those 48 states, you need a driver's license from your country, or if it's one of those countries that fits into the international driver license category, you need one of those. So no matter where you're from, you need a freaking driver's license if you're driving in the United States.
law enforcement officer,
Is there tribal marshal?
tribal marshals, which is what?
They're marshals for our nation, for the Cherokee Nation, Salagi, the marshals for any nation that call upon us. It's like the U.S. marshals, if they're called upon the United States, that's what we do.
To do what?
Whether it's pick up a fugitive or pick an
So
arrest.
are y'all bail bondsmen?
Yeah. Which chapter marshal?
Tribal marshal, which is law enforcement.
This is the other person. Okay.
And this, what's your name?
Yeah. That's the two best cuts.
Yeah, I don't know what his charges are, but hopefully it's not just a civil traffic stuff. Hopefully they do get impersonating with officers. Impersonating
What state are
officers.
y'all out of? Like, where's their headquarters? Where that? Rhode Island. Let me in Rhode Island. Where y'all coming?
Yeah, that.
Sweet Bill says sticker.
Where y'all coming from?
Yeah, so correction, if a lot of countries we have treaties with where they could use their own country's license, like Canada, Mexico are two of them, and I think there are several others. And then the rest of the countries will accept an international driver's license as long as it's aligned with the countries that align with that same type of driver license.
Rhode Island. Where's your destination?
Down here in Georgia.
Down in Georgia. Atlanta, Georgia. Okay. What, you passed Atlanta already? You passed Atlanta already?
Yeah, I know. Sir.
Oh, like,
Look at GPS, yeah.
okay. What's the exact location? Do you know the city?
It's in the GPS.
You know the city?
I think it's downtown Atlanta.
Downtown Atlanta? So you've never had a driver's license. Have you ever had a social security number? When you were 2? You remember that number? Have you ever been arrested before? Never been arrested?
Ex-military. Ex-military, never been arrested.
Never been arrested. So if you're ex-military,
Yeah.
you're required to have a driver's license.
Yeah, it should be a two-sided,
Say that I gave you?
treaty.
What's this then? Don't read to your advice. Don't read to your advice. So you could just explain it.
Okay, what's another ID pop? The status of everything.
Marshal status. What marshal status?
Yeah, chopping Moses.
Okay. So what branch were you in? Armed. And in the United States Army, when you reach the age of 18 or 16, you're required to have a driver's license. You've never had, so have you ever been in the military and you've had a driver's license before?
So,
No.
the license,
So hold on. You've been in the military with this life. That's not true, buddy. Not true, man. There's no way.
here,
No, there's no.
so it's a good.
Because here's it. Whatever state you're in, whatever state you're stationed in, you're required to have a driver's license.
I was stationed down here for being a jerk.
Okay, so you would have to have a driver's license.
Not if I was coming from Rhode Island.
You would have whatever state you came from driver's license. You would be the only exception you would have is you'd be excused to obtain in that state's driver's license because you move around so much. You're exempt from the 30-day rule of updating your address information. That's it. Okay. So I'm pretty sure you've operated a motor vehicle before going to and from PT, right? Going to and from PT, which means that you had some sort of kid identification and some sort of state driver's license.
I mean, you shouldn't be able to work without a Social Security, which means you're probably not filling out tax forms. But he's also saying he was in the freaking military. I mean, 100% chance that he has a Social Security card. But I'm trying to figure, does he have an accent? Because sometimes it sounds like he does, and sometimes it sounds like he doesn't.
Down here, I didn't know Kramer vehicle down there.
So you walk around on posts is what you're saying.
That's what it is. I never bought breaking a vehicle in Fort Bend.
How old were you?
That was what, 17, 18,
Yeah.
18, and I got organized.
Yeah, I was thinking stolen valor too.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna need some sort of documents stating because what he's presenting is that he submitted something to the governor. Here's what we are. He submitted something to the governor, right? So that the governor can accept y'all as a nation, or if a tribe, as for y'all to do your own thing. The governor has not signed out paperwork putting that in effect.
It also picked that he has in the phone. Have you checked it? It's been submitted since 2015.
But has it been signed?
And straight ahead.
No, it has not.
I didn't know it had been other signed the man's paperwork for him.
No, that has not been signed. You never had a middle name?
I think they could have him in cuffs by now, but I think it's probably a good call to wait for backup because they're wearing badges. There's probably more than just a traffic violation here. He's probably already sure that he's going to take the car at least, but I haven't actually watched the video other than the very beginning.
What's your social?
It's saying that's right on there, bro.
Name is social?
All right, diploma, passport. their own DL number. Oh, and it's got that tribe that they mentioned earlier. Okay.
There's no social on driver's license.
This is the
But they do.
CC government period and the Australian procedures.
Every one of
What
them.
state is this permit for?
They know the day.
What state is this permit out of?
They probably know the hour.
So you have a concealed carry permit in Rhode Island. You have a concealed carry permit in Rhode Island.
Okay, so they're basically saying they have weapons.
I think that one.
He's the big dude. In the front.
Hey, do you know
Dad bod that never goes away.
2318 Collins Road.
18 Collins Road.
2318 Collins Road. You don't know that? You have a middle name of Alexin? Have you ever had a middle name?
Never had.
Never had a middle name? Huh?
I'm a junior. Never had a middle.
You're a junior? So why didn't it say that on your ID? Oh, sorry, I got it. I got it. Yo, try to understand, what investigation are y'all doing?
I can't really disclose that information because we're on.
Right.
You're on what?
We're on duty.
Okay. On.
Speaking of which, I just got mine. I just got mine. In Colorado, you have to take a freaking 10-hour class, which includes a range certification and then a whole bunch of other paperwork. You need a social number. You don't need to bring it with you, but man, that was some hoops. But yeah, I just got mine.
In a official capacity as law enforcement officers. Okay.
Throughout the nation.
Okay.
The Indian nations. There's probably about a good 67
No.
tribes that we give our services.
Okay.
Rio Shilajin. Indians. It was being marshals. It's for the whole nation, which is proper.
Even legitimate Native American tribes have dual citizenship. Basically, well, right, because there was a treaty on that one too. Basically, and even though they have their own government, they also carry driver's license from their respective states, and they recognize the state's government alongside their own government as well as the United States, unlike these guys. Right. So it's not an either or, it's a both.
Is this vehicle registered in any state?
We run out.
In Rhode Island.
Thanks,
So why
Slack.
does it not have a Rhode Island tag? Yes, I mean, a Rhode Island license plate.
It is.
Did that come from the Department of Driver Services?
From Maverick, but yes. No, this is to the nation.
Where'd you get that tag from?
I already got my vehicle.
Whose vehicle? His vehicle. Okay. And what's your last name? Hannah. Devil.
He's
This
definitely
vehicle
American.
should have a tag on it per Rhode Island. It should have an official Rhode Island tag on it, and it does not have an official Rhode Island tag.
I never heard of it. The states.
Have y'all ever been stopped before?
Yeah.
Okay, and how did that stop go?
They ask questions. Bring all the revolvers. We got the governors of whatever state you're in on the phone. We wait another 30, 40 minutes for the cop to figure out get up there. Yeah, then they give us all a piss tuck me roll. Move over here.
Sorry, yeah, don't get hit.
Yeah, I got you. My dude.
What nation is that?
Selaji.
Okay.
Selaji is the original name for Cherokee before it was Americanized and translated to CHER.
Right? So what happened last time we got pulled over? Oh, you know, they asked some questions. We got the governor on the phone. It was all good. Bullshit.
Well, what kind of, is this like a patrol car? Or is that what this is?
No, we're just gonna go pick it up.
You're gonna go pick up the patrol car. Okay, where's the patrol car?
For some reason, the cops laughed at her story. So did the secretary of the secretary of the secretary for the governor.
It's in my GPS.
Is it getting fixed or something?
No, the attorney general.
The attorney general has what? The
Yeah.
patrol car? That y'all drive from Rhode Island
We drove down last night.
in there.
Yes.
Oh, they all believe what they say.
How long did that take you?
Took an hour.
The non-existent reservation. Cherokee people.
Yes, pull over and sleep.
Wait, did I miss somebody?
This next is
Oh, no.
driving. One sleep, one drive. So here's the thing. Other peace officers come in contact with other peace officers who are doing an investigation. The peace officer who is doing the investigation would commonly extend the courtesy of like, hey, this is what we're working on. Cool, fun. You know what I'm saying? Because this that peace officer did. All right, hang tight for me. Okay. You're Hey, bud, so did you turn around for me, please?
There
Turn
you
around.
go. Cuff the dude. Oh, there's his gun. Supposedly I can't say that word.
A double pump. Do you want the rest of this one, please? You have the hand for yourself? You're under arrest for driving while suspended and impersonating a police officer.
Yes. Oh God.
If you could, stand in front of my vehicle right there, phone case.
Daughter put a sticker on my arm and I have hairy arms.
Have a seat on my push book.
Just took it off.
And grab your purse. Alright, bud. Step out. Step, face me. Face me. Keep your hands visible at all times. Step out. Keep your hands visible at all times.
They're gonna raise some heck all over this.
Leave the phone. Leave the phone alone. Step out. The instructions were to step out. Face me. Turn around. Put your hands on the floor. Good day about that.
Yeah, it had to be that charge. It had to be something other than just a traffic ticket so they could get both of them. Absolutely. Well, plus that's what they're doing.
You're under arrest for impersonating a police officer.
See how they're doing compared to Queen V.
You kept under arrest for impersonating a police officer.
You got anything on you?
No. My magazine's in my pocket.
That's cool. Stay right up on my coffin door.
Can I get my wallet?
Yes, sir, you can. My wallet's in the kit.
Yeah.
You want to rotate your wrist?
Tell everybody in the jail. See how they get treated. Did he say that they can't arrest police officers? Is that what he said when he got out of the car?
The folded one right here?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Need anything else from outside the vehicle?
No.
I mean, inside?
My wallet and my phone and yeah.
Okay. I have a suit right here. Go, open.
Well, let me catch that here real quick.
The unsigned diplomatic papers.
Come home.
Because
Why is he putting it all back in his pocket?
Oh, sorry about that, man.
Oh, he does have a concealed carry. God, I was gonna skip forward, but then they showed the documents. Yep. At least they were listening to the lady's speaker.
That is, you know, some evidence bags. I'll take a grab evidence bag.
Alright, that's why I kicked myself out. Something charter to operate, and then the Royal Tribal something something. Yeah, I can't really read those. The Chili Special, laminated. Yeah, but I'm not really sure what those documents were. I mean, they look like made up stuff.
878.
All right, I don't remember the deal with red ink, but you typically won't find, if not ever, find red ink in legal documents. American? Does it say American? American? American. Just looking for a real ID. They definitely have a lot of documents in general. That's for sure. No idea what that word said. Auto Chochin? Like, you don't need a trifold when you have like 15 binders with everything laminated inside. Definitely doesn't have the chili special. It's a dossier or a kid's picture book. Check out my dossier. Body bag? Oh, rifle. Cherokee people, Buffalo, New York. Oh, there's a flag. And this is the kind of stuff that makes Bama Mike's channel awesome. Oh, look, a real license plate.
But this is supposed to be on there.
That's where you're supposed to put it. That's my evidence.
Come on back. Hey, I got room for one.
And we're being arrested for what?
You are the passenger. You're being arrested for impersonating a police officer. Yes, sir.
Oh, right.
Oh, you got it? You can't take that with you, okay?
I'm gonna go talk to Sarge real quick.
Duck your head a little bit. Try to get it without.
Take the head out first.
That way my hand ain't in your face, you know what I'm saying? You got anything else for me? Put your hand out real quick.
He put their wallets back in their pockets. I wonder if he's going to take them back out again.
Down, man. Down 55. Take all the way to the front. Call the sheriff's office and verify that we are employed by the sheriff's office. There's no.
Go hold it while you get in there.
It's not working out too well for
I
him.
know, they don't give us a lot of room here. Let's see if we can bring these back a little bit. Maybe that'll help you out.
This is ridiculous.
Well, they get him in there. Yeah. Lots of lithium for sure. Plus whatever, what's the word? Plus that psilocybin, the mushroom stuff. Yeah, he's a big dude. Look at all this evidence. Oh, right. I now remember that there was like 20 different ways people spelled it on my last chat. Yeah, that stuff. A lot of psilocybin and lithium.
$195-911. Show me en route with 1 to the jail for 059.
It's not an easy one without looking it up. That's like when mine says the F word for just about everything. All right, it's almost over. 3 minutes left.
23.
As long as you enunciate your syllables.
Wow. I'll give you a hand carrying that stuff upstairs.
All those evidence bags.
All right, sir. Let's try to slide you out of there.
He's trying so hard. He's scooting.
Got it? All right. Before we go through this door, do you have any weapons, any drugs on you, anything like that? Because once you go through the door, anything you have on you becomes a felony. Just checking.
Well, you guys checked me already.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just double checking. Didn't know if you might have something or not. Let's step up to
What
the
do I
door.
mean, like?
Drugs.
No, I have no drugs.
Okay.
No.
Do you have machine gun anywhere hidden on
I
you?
wish.
Nah, then you're good.
Check this. Check my pockets. Make sure my knives ain't on me.
It's a lighter. I think the rest were just cough drops or candy or something like that.
Yeah, be there.
That's a wallet.
Whoa, sun is changing. Yeah, absolutely. And if you're not a member of Coolin' with Colin, I highly recommend it. I'll be there. Legal Fiction will be there. No, pretty sure everybody else will be there. But if you're not, Members Monday is where it's at with Colin's channel for sure. See, look, I shout out other people's channels, like with a pause. But Colin's been good to me and my channel, so for sure.
There's a knife in there.
Yeah.
You get it?
It's
There's
back.
a knife in there.
I'm sorry?
There's a knife in there.
In this?
Yep.
Ah.
I feel like one of you guys is a mod for Colin.
Right there.
Let's say it's Sly, maybe.
Alright, I'm going to put that back in your pocket. And just double check.
Yep, I knew it was Sly.
IDs and,
Oh, I gotta change the blinds.
and cash. And then just check in the front. Swipe card. Alright.
It's a little bit better.
Gonna step on in. You want to pop your trunk? I'm gonna put this is his knife.
Okay, here we go. Both men fought these charges for almost 4 years. The DA refused to offer a plea or drop the charges, which is awesome. And upon realizing that they were not going to get their way, both men quit responding and absconded, forcing the judge to issue warrants. And the case was placed on. The case was placed on a dead docket, which is the only reason I was finally allowed to get this footage. The charges are still pending. So again, another reason why Bama Mike is awesome, because he follows up. And Bama Mike, if you ever find that I took your video, it's all out of respect and to promote Bama Mike.
Well, I'll put it with his property.
Thank you.
That's it. That's it. I gotta go help the wife with the kids. You guys are awesome. Man, I wish I would have spied on Biggins' channel earlier. But yeah, you guys are awesome. I am. Hold on, why do I still have you guys here? The toddler of the year thing is on pause for a while. But Maverick did make it to the next round or whatever it is, and frankly, I was getting a little tired of voting for that every day. But I appreciate everybody's support for the toddler of the year. I think it starts back up maybe in a couple days. What was I going to ask you guys? I forgot. Okay. Oh, I remember. I need. Ooh, I think I got a new sub. What date? What day did I say? It's either by the end of October. I don't remember if I said the end of October or the end of October or the end of November. Yeah, thank you for dropping the link in the here. You know what? Let me go back to OBS so I can highlight that. There you go. There's a link to Bama Mike's channel. Um, yeah, he's got. I haven't seen him around as much lately, but I make sure to watch everything that he puts out. And again, he does everything firsthand. Like he's not doing what a lot of us do and finding the body cam from somewhere else. He goes and he FOIAs it. He goes to the town. I mentioned all this stuff, but the way I love the way he does things, and he has a lot of subscribers for good reason. If yeah, what was I gonna say? Yeah, I've got a goal of 500 subs. It's looking a little more optimistic than I thought it was. By the end of, let's call it the end of November, my wife will tase me live if that happens. Um, you guys, everybody in here is familiar to me, so you guys are all freaking awesome. I'll do better at scheduling my streams so you're more aware. I'm still trying to figure out where I fit in the world of Biggin and Colin and all that stuff. Um, and there's there's a whole bunch of ways you could support the channel. I put it in the description, but the main thing is just pass it along to the channels you go to. See if you can get Law Talk with Mike to name drop this somehow too. That would be awesome. The name Grammar School really does come from a frequently used comment by Mike. So out of respect. Anyway, I'll see you guys in probably about 40 minutes at Colin's channel. And I think if I'm not mistaken, the dude is still in Canada, but if not, then either way, I'll still, I know he's still streaming. All right, see you soon. He did? When? Oh, God, I was just going to say bye. Was it a bad thing? I didn't get any subs, so it was probably bad. Well, Talk with Mike did drop your name. Well, do you remember when? Because now I have to go back and watch stuff. He's probably like some creepy dude from called Grammar School. All right, let me just throw this in here for you, Jill. If you can remember it by any chance. For Dummies and drop me a link if you can. Grammarschoolfordummies@gmail.com. If not, I have to go back and watch. He said, "Oh, Mars, go to grammar school." Now I have to go back and watch it. Dude, he's been streaming so much. And that's saying something for Mike, because he streams a lot to start with. I mean, he used to be like one time a day, like clockwork. And then every once in a while, you'd have like a four-peat from Mike. But now he's like on a constant 3-4-peat. It is impossible to keep up with Mike. All right, I'm really going to stop the stream. It's so hard for me to stop these streams. Yeah, I got to do laundry and make sure my wife doesn't want to kill me because the kids are going crazy. All right. Yeah.